Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing a game between Paul Morphy and another person. Um, so, so it's a pretty interesting game, and I guess it's gonna try to show you that if you don't castle, well, that's gonna be really bad. And if you weaken your defense, that's gonna be also really bad. So make sure to castle in unsafe positions. You don't always have to castle, but it's good to castle. And especially if you're not attacking and you're kind of defending, it's really good to castle. So I'm gonna be analyzing this game. So yeah, let's get started. So I got the computer analysis on the right, and as you might have could tell, white is playing with a 86.0 accuracy, black with a 70.4 accuracy. So that's a book move, e4, e5, and knight f3, defend with d6. No one got a really big advantage here yet. D4 takes, and then bishop goes here. And that's just, I guess, because you might have noticed that the pawn on d4 is kind of stranded now, so white could probably take it whenever he wants. And it also gives white a development lead. Now he got two minor pieces on the board versus black's 0 minor pieces on the board. So yeah, I guess that's a really good advantage for white. Now this computer says it's a mistake. Pawn h6. And I guess I could see why. So it's just many people play h6, a6, a3, h3 in order to block a bishop from going to a specific square. So in this case, white's bishop on c1 cannot go to g5 anymore. But I mean, what's the harm in allowing it to go to g5? So I guess this was a pretty bad mistake. It was kind of pointless to do this. And also, if black decides to castle kingside, it's gonna just be kind of bad for black because he just weakened that. Now, c3, that's an inaccuracy apparently. So even though white is challenging black's pawn on d4, notice that white was still down a pawn. So if he allows the pawns to be traded off, he'll not only be still down a pawn, but he'll also be left with two pawn islands on a2 and c3. They're just gonna be stranded over there. Now that was a mistake apparently as well. I guess black with this idea he tried to strengthen queenside space, but it also takes away the square for a knight on b8. So that's kind of bad. Castle. So I'm not sure why white didn't take that pawn on d4. That just confused me. But apparently that's the best move. And I guess, alright, so let's see. If we take, then, I mean, it's not a bad move, but still. Alright, so that was best move. And then, so this was d takes c3 was a good move, but then I guess the computer suggests knight to f6 to control the center, because notice that white still does not have black still does not have a piece on the board that's actually attacking. Queen goes here. It's the best move apparently. So not only does it threaten b7 in the scenario if the bishop on c8 decides to go away, move away, then white's queen just takes b7. But it also threatens f7, and knows that the bishop and the queen are both stacked against f7. Queen goes here. I guess both defend b7 and f7, so that's good. Knight takes, so it prevents pawn islands. Now that was a mistake as well. Best move apparently was b7 to b5, because that forces the white bishop to retreat. Notice that white bishop could no longer be on the a2 to g8 diagonal, because black's pawns are just gonna be threatening that bishop, so it will have to retreat after b5. But instead, black played g5, which is kind of bad. Notice that black's king is still in the center, but he's trying to attack white's castled position by pushing his two pawns on the king side. So this is really not going that well for black. Bishop goes here. It's a good move, but it's not the best move. Apparently the best move was rook to e1, and that kind of strengthens that e4 pawn, and you could possibly push it to e5, but that was okay. This is also a mistake for black. And notice that white's advantage is really, really high. So yes, black tried to fianchetto his bishop, but it's just not, it's just passive, too passive. It's not really doing anything. What are you doing with this bishop? So apparently rook to h7 would have been the best move for black. Now rook on a goes to c1, just to defend that knight, also to just develop it, and yeah. Now bishop takes, that's good, but the computer is saying that knight to a6 is the best. So I guess that might seem a bit, why is that the best? Because it's just really, you're usually told not to put your pieces on the edge of the board, but yet here is the computer saying, oh, put your piece on the edge of the board. But I guess it's really hard to spot. That's just really confusing. But I guess it's understandable that black played bishop takes c3 because he's up a pawn and he wants to just trade everything off, so he keeps that advantage. But the thing is, black is up a pawn, but he is definitely not up by development. Like his pieces are all either on the 7th or 8th rank, and that's not good. Queen takes, attacking the rook on h8. Rook moves up. Best move was f6, blocking. And then this was a good move, and that was a good move, but they both weren't best moves. Now bishop goes to d3, attacking that rook, and knight moves back. The best move should have been knight takes on e5. So takes, and then queen goes back. Now the best move was take the rook. I'm not sure why white did not take the rook. I guess because the rook is kind of trapped there, so it's really helpless, so white could take it at whenever. And also I'm not sure why the queen didn't take that pawn back. Like this is just confusing. How come the queen on c7 didn't take d6? I don't know. it would have lessened black's pressure, but I mean, I don't know what happened there. Rook moves over, and I guess it's attacking. So notice that if you move the bishop on e3 away, it's going to check the king. So if you move the bishop on e3 to b6, not only is the king in danger, but the queen is also in danger. Now bishop moves over, wise move. Knight goes here, continuing the attack, and then other knight moves up to f6. I guess finally deciding to develop his pieces. Bishop takes, knight takes, and now I think, yeah, white is ahead in material and ahead in development, so that's really good. He got that nice D pawn just right there. Now I am not sure why black never took the pawn on d6. Now he cannot. He just wasted that chance. I'm not sure why he never took that pawn. Knight goes here. I guess blockading the d6 pawn, and also trying to challenge the knight on e5 or the bishop on c5. Knight moves back, because if you ever heard, if you're ahead, then you don't want to trade off your pieces. But I guess the best move was a b4, so you could just continue the attack on all fronts. Now the knight should have, black's knight on h7 should have gone to f6. Queen goes here. Pretty threatening move because it attacks the knight on h7. But I guess the best move was bishop of d4. Knight goes here, and I think, yeah, so this happens, so this was, I guess, to defend the square on f6. So at this point, black just resigned, I guess. So if you don't know what's happening, so the queen goes here, right? Black's only move was, or one of his only moves was to take to move his knight to on h7 to f8 to defend, you know. But now the computer is suggesting the knight on d7 to take on c5. Why is this? So either way, it's a trade. But if the knight took on c5, it would have lessened black's pain, and black could have had a fighting chance. But now, with this bishop moving here, black doesn't have much of a fighting chance. Because, so notice that black on his next move, on white's next move, this is going to be pretty bad. And so that would have been bad. So if we follow a variation here on the side, here, and so that kind of allows black to be a bit less pressure. And then this rook to here, and it's just a lot of pain after that. This goes here, and I think, yeah, so here the queen would have to take, otherwise there's just too much pressure on black, so that would happen. And then this is just really bad, and you might have noticed that this is all because of black not castling. And so if you notice what the theme is here, try to defend your king, not only try to gain material. Here black try to keep his extra pawn, but he didn't have a lot of development. He didn't even castle. He kept his king in the center, and that's just all bad. So make sure you just kind of defend yourself properly, and don't worry about keeping that one pawn. You gotta worry about attacking and also keeping your king safe. So if you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notifications bell to see more chess videos.